Is BDD discriminatory? Does BDD discriminate against folk whose native language is not English or whatever the language of the business is? I'd never considered this before, and it's actually a really good question because BDD does favour people who can articulate requirements well, who can articulate requirements clearly and succinctly. And doing this well requires some practice and some skill. In the BDD workshops that I run, I spend a lot of time talking about, and we spend a lot of time doing exercises on how to write user stories well, how to write acceptance criteria well, how to make sure that you have covered all of the aspects of a user story and that you've expressed them in a way that everyone can understand. And that's before you get anywhere near a given when then format. So it is really, really important because clarity, completeness and precision are key to getting clarity on what you need to build and what you need to deliver. And that's nothing to do with BDD. BDD just has a number of techniques that help bring this to light and make these skills more obvious and make these skills, will give you skills to enhance your ability to do that and to get that clarity. BDD, the big power of BDD is getting clarity on your requirements and understanding what you need to deliver and making sure everyone is on the same page and getting ahead of the requirements so that you know when you need to dig deeper, uncovering uncertainty as we call it. Now, the question, if you're less confident in your ability to express concepts, if you're speaking in a foreign language, when I'm speaking in a foreign language that I'm learning in any case, I know that it can be much harder to express subtle or complex domain concepts, and the temptation is to keep things relatively simple. Now, you throw in a structured format like given, when, then, adds an extra layer of complexity. It makes it even harder, and the general temptation is to fall back on very simple examples, very rudimentary language. And that's what we often see in given, when, then scenarios, very rudimentary test script type scenarios that don't really explore the subtleties and the full breadth of the user requirements as BDD is supposed to do. Now, are there techniques to get around this if you do have people from different backgrounds with different language levels of language skills? Well, in fact, yes, there are. The facilitation techniques in behavior driven development, like example mapping and feature mapping, help a lot to get people collaborating and make sure that you are having those ideas coming together. They don't rely on a single person's ability to express themselves in Shakespearean English. You can get everyone working and collaborating together and agreeing on a format that works well. That's one of the biggest things that's emerged in BDD over the past decade, way more powerful than given, when, then, and you really should use these techniques to enhance your discovery sessions. But even before you get to a Three Amigos, we can use AI now to make this a smoother process, to streamline your requirements discovery. Imagine if a product owner or a BA could have a tool that could proofread or wordsmith their user stories, that could tutor them in whatever language is being used, that could help make sure the acceptance criteria are well written, that the wording is clear, point out logical inconsistencies or missing details. That would be kind of a game changer, wouldn't it? Well, tools like ChatGPT can certainly help, but it's an area where emerging tools are coming out that are really, really interesting. I've got one here. I won't do a full demo, but I'll do a full demo in another video, but this is just as an example. This is a tool called Spectre Test AI, and what it does is it allows you to write a draft user story, and it will analyze it and propose improvements and give you a score on your user story and the quality, propose requirements that you may have missed or may not have thought of, like security requirements, even propose draft given, when, then type scenarios for you to give you a starting point. This sort of tool can be a real game changer, in my opinion, in the way we do requirements discovery, because that barrier, that communication barrier, it's not a communication barrier that we should allow to prevent us from getting clarity on our requirements, but often in practice it is. So is BDD discriminatory? Well, in Agile, requirements and discovery analysis it's essentially a communication exercise, and communication works best if you can express yourself fluently and easily. But not everyone has the same level of skill, whether it's due to language or just natural aptitude, and this is absolutely fine. But when we use facilitation techniques like example mapping and feature mapping, or AI tools like Spec to Test, we can certainly go a long way to level the playing field, lower those communication barriers, and help make sure everyone is on the same page so that we can deliver better software faster. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for listening, folks.